Did you know for Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy, John Ashton, and Judge Reinhold improvised most of their comic lines? Literally hundreds of takes were ruined by cast members, actors, or the director laughing during shooting. During the Super Cop's monologue, Ashton is pinching his face hard and looking down in apparent frustration. He is actually laughing. Reinhold put his hand in his pocket and pinched his thigh really hard, trying to prevent himself from laughing. 2. To cast the roles of Rosewood and Taggart, the director paired up various finalists and asked them to do some improvisation to get a feel for their chemistry. He paired up Judge Reinhold and John Ashton and gave them the following direction. You are a middle-aged couple, married for years. You are having a conversation on an average evening. Reinhold immediately picked up a nearby magazine, and the two improvised the 5 pounds of red meat in his bowels bit, almost exactly as it eventually appeared in the movie. 3. The completed movie made such an impression on Paramount executives that they committed to a sequel moments after the first private executive screening of the completed film. Did you know for Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn's salary for the film was $750,000, making her the highest-paid actress per film at the time? 2. Henry Mancini wrote Moon River specifically for Audrey Hepburn. He later said that while many versions of the song have been done, he feels that Audrey's was the best. The song was also almost cut from the finished film. According to lyricist Johnny Mercer, during one of the previews of the film in San Francisco, the audience response wasn't terribly enthusiastic about the tune. Luckily, Audrey Hepburn herself protested, and the song stayed and became a classic. Since then, Moon River has been recorded more than 500 times. 3. Author Truman Capote was reportedly unhappy with the decision to cast Audrey Hepburn. He envisioned Marilyn Monroe in the part of Holly Golightly. Monroe was originally cast as Golightly, but her drama coach, Lee Strasberg, told her that playing a call girl was not good for her image. The film went on to be a huge success, with Monroe's replacement Audrey Hepburn receiving Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations for Best Actress. Did you know for The Birdcage, Steve Martin has since gone on to say he regrets turning down the opportunity to be Armand in this movie because he was very close friends with Robin Williams in real life, and although the two did perform on stage together during their careers, they had never appeared in a movie together before Williams's passing in 2014. Originally, Martin was to play Armand with Williams as Albert, but Martin was busy with Sergeant Bilko, which was released a couple weeks after this film was, so Williams took over as Armand and Nathan Lane played Albert instead. 2. On his 30th birthday, Hank Azaria worked on Heat until 6 a.m., then headed to this movie. When Mike Nichols found out it was his birthday and that he had been working for 18 hours straight, he sent Azaria home. 3. Hank Azaria created 2 different voices for the character of Agador Spartacus, one being somewhat of a more masculine voice and the other one being higher pitched. He was worried about the second one being too stereotypical until he asked a gay friend of his who thought it was more realistic. He realized after filming that he had actually based his voice on his grandmother's. Did you know for the Lego Movie, the creators deliberately tried to make the movie feel like stop-motion animation and avoided making the computer-generated effects look too obvious. This was done to make the movie look like it contained real Lego. 2. Benny, the 1980-something space guy voiced by Charlie Day, a minifigure from Lego's classic space line, has a broken helmet and a worn-out, scuffed logo on his suit, similar to how many real-life space minifigures look after being used. The helmet is even shown to be cracked at the same spot where the real-life Lego piece would usually break. 3. In order to add more realism to the movie, the Lego bricks have scratches, fading, and even fingerprints to make the movie look like someone was manipulating real bricks in a stop-motion fashion. The bricks are also affected by their locations, with the bricks in the Old West realm being more dusty and faded from the sunlight. 4. Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and Christian Bale at one point were considered to reprise the role of Batman. Morgan Freeman stated that Batman, in this film, is his favorite incarnation of the character of all time. Did you know for Moneyball, director Bennett Miller said that almost all of the scouts depicted in the movie were also played by actual scouts? Most of those guys are just scouts, and there's a couple of actors in there. You know, we were just researching it and trying to get a sense of what these meetings are like and invited a whole bunch of scouts to just talk to us about how they approach things and, what these kinds of meetings are. And we brought, probably 20 guys together when we were prepping the film and just to have a round table discussion and to reenact something, and we just stirred it up and watched it go. And sitting with Brad Pitt, and we'd just look at each other and wonder, why are we trying to cast actors? Let's just invite these guys back, and let's just say, we'll just tell them to study that season and say, you're working for the A's, and how would you go about it? And that's sort of in a hybrid with the script, written by Steven Zaillian and Aaron Sorkin, just sort of brought it to life. 2. This is the third baseball movie to be nominated for the Best Picture Academy Award, after The Pride of the Yankees and Field of Dreams. Did you know for A Fish Called Wanda, in 1989, when this movie was shown in theaters in Denmark, a Danish man named Ole Benson, an audiologist, literally laughed himself to death during the scene where Ken Pyle, played by Michael Palin, gets the chips up his nose. Benson's heart rate went between 250 and 500 beats per minute, and he eventually succumbed to cardiac arrest. The story behind this is that the man had made a joke a few years earlier with his family during dinner, where he put a piece of cauliflower up his and every family member's nose as a joke and made a bet with them on who could eat up their carrots without the cauliflower falling out. When the scene with Ken Pyle and the chips came up, he started thinking about this dinner incident and laughed so hard that his heart stopped. This story is well known in Scandinavia and spread around as almost an urban legend shortly after it happened. It was confirmed by his son, who also told the dinner story as an explanation to why his father laughed so hard during the chips scene that he died. 2. Michael Palin thought the script was awful when he first read it and recorded his low opinion of it in his diary. Did you know for Joker, Joaquin Phoenix unexpectedly shedded a tear during the first take when his character looked in the mirror, and the director Todd Phillips kept it in? Phillips said that he played the film's score for Joaquin Phoenix because he wanted the music to affect and infect the set in a way. During the first take as the score was playing, Phillips revealed that as Joaquin is struggling with Arthur's smile, this little tear appears, and we just had the scene and we moved on. 2. Joaquin Phoenix said he took the role of the Joker because I wasn't sure how I felt about him. When I have all the answers, I get bored. This one really kept me guessing. 3. Speaking about the villain's iconic laugh, Joaquin Phoenix called it something that's almost painful. I think for Joker, it's a part of him that wants to emerge. I think we all kind of assume what a Joker laugh is, and it felt like a new, fresh way of looking at it. I didn't think that I could do it, he added. I kind of practiced alone, but I asked Todd to come over to audition my laugh. I felt like I had to be able to do it on the spot and in front of somebody else. It was really uncomfortable. It took me a long time.